If you clicked on this video, it's most likely that you aren't the best agent in 2024 or the best version of yourself. Now, in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to become the best agent in a very short amount of time. Now, if you actually applied on what I say in this video, trust me, you will see results. However, I'm going to show you the 7 ways that I would personally do this and how I've learned from the best. And these are the methods that you should take in order to do it. If you cannot handle hard work, please skip this video. This isn't for you. But for those who actually want to do what it takes, then this is the video for you, and I'm going to show you how and why I'm actually able to say this. It's because of these 2 men right here. Now, to my left here is Ryan Serhant, which if you're any real estate agent and you don't know about this guy, then come on already. Ryan Serhant is the #1 agent at one time and one stage in his career, and is also the best agency in the world. I believe it's called Serhant, and he's the best. I mean, he sells penthouses to billionaires, right, on a regular basis, and he has done everything and what it takes to become the best. Now, why is that? Now, we'll get into that very shortly, and it's also this man onto my right. His name's Tom Panos. Now, I'm based in Australia, and he is the reason that I do these videos is because I'm very inspired with what he's done, and he's taken the turn, even at an older age, really blown up on social media. You might recognize these 2 logos right here. We've got Ferrari and Lamborghini. Now, this is a very important point that I want you to understand. I don't want you to be afraid of competition, and here's why. A long time ago, Ferrari was known as the best sports car that there was, right? Before Bugatti and all these other people, Ferrari was the best, okay? And still is regarded today. Now, Ferruccio Lamborghini started making tractors. He was always an engineer, and he had a very successful business. Now, he owned a lot of Ferraris at the time, the best. He owned 5 Ferraris at the time, even more. And he noticed a recurring problem that the clutch was terrible and it didn't work. And although he didn't build cars, he built tractors, and he thought, well, if I could fit my own clutch into this Ferrari, I bet you could be better. So one day, he decided to take matters into his own hands and approached Enzo Ferrari himself, okay, the founder of Ferrari. And he said, look, I own a lot of your cars, I really love your cars, except the clutch is bad. And he brought this up to Enzo Ferrari, and he said, are you serious? He said, go back to making tractors. Now you see, Enzo Ferrari was not a happy man that day, and neither was Ferruccio Lamborghini. What Ferruccio Lamborghini did was he took matters into his own hands and decided to build the first Lamborghini, which was the 350 GT. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because there's always going to be competition. And now we know today of Ferrari and Lamborghini, and some people might even say that Lamborghini is better. I'm personally Ferrari. But the point I'm trying to make is that competition is a good thing. If there was no competition, then your business probably wouldn't last. If there was no competition, then we wouldn't be going back and forth on who can make the best cars or who can sell the most houses. So if you're getting into a heated battle with your competition and losing vendors because they won the appraisal and you're a solo agent but they have a big team and you also have a big team, you need to realize that this is a good thing. This is an important thing. You should have gratitude towards competition, because at the end of the day, if there was no competition, then what would be the point? If you were #1 all the time, it wouldn't be that much fun, would it? So that's the point I'm trying to make. Embrace your competition and know that, like Ferrari and Lamborghini, they both helped each other to make the best cars, the best handling cars, the best and fastest engines. And that's what you need to do with yourself. You need to be the best agent. You need to be the best with technology, everything. And that brings me to my next point. You need to adapt to your environment. Now, let's say that you're an older person watching this and you want help with, your tech stuff, and you usually get your friend that's a lot younger in the office just to help you with it. Now, although you might not see that as much, but that can be a really big Achilles heel or a weakness. Now, you want to make sure that you can sharpen and make sure that you get rid of that weakness soon, because it's part of your job. I mean, people is always a part of business, especially real estate. But if you don't know how to use your CRM, if you don't know how you can actually use social media, if you don't know how AI is going to change real estate, then you're a lot behind and you will not become the top agent. Maybe you've been the top agent before, but do you want to continue being the top agent? So that's why you need to always be adapting, be learning. I even have a video here that even teaches you how to make a Facebook ad. It's very simple. You can watch that video later. I'll pop it here. But you need to be adapting to these skills. I've even got a video on ChatGPT and how to use that as a real estate agent. And there's so many great ways that you can use that, not only to make you more money, but save you more time. And that's why adapting to your environment is simply such a big thing. No matter if it's technology, no matter if it's a skill, what's going on with the market, okay? And that brings me to this point, which is obviously understanding the market. I mean, you know that you have your area and you sell there. Now you want to dominate in that area and you don't want anyone to take market share of that, okay? You want to be the person who is known to, if I sell an area in Melbourne, then he's the guy. I mean, there's no doubt about it, or wherever you're from. So you always have to be submerged and observant of what's going around in the area locally. Has there been laws that's changed? Has there been some significant events? Is there a concert coming up? I don't know. What I can say is that if you see this sword here, if you don't keep up to date and you don't know your stuff, you don't know the median house prices, the average house prices when people ask you, which I'm sure you do, but let's say, you can just call a friend or you can just look it up on the internet, then this sword is going to become more blunt if you don't practice every single day. Every day that you don't sharpen your sword is every day that's going to become more blunt and harder to actually penetrate and get to your goals and get to the sales and defend off the competition. So you want to constantly be sharpening your sword every single day. Every single day, you want to know what's going on. I mean, you live there in that area. I mean, you want to make sure that you're the person that knows, what's the best restaurants, what's the best gyms to go to. I mean, that's what you need to do. You need to constantly be sharpening your sword. So understanding your market. Now, this is, I think, a famous quote that everyone's heard at one stage in their life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, I know this can be contradicting to what I said before, right? Because you want to know in your market, but more importantly is the people that you know, because without people, there is no business, there is no sale. People is what makes everything. And those connections that you have. Maybe, I learned a very important lesson from Grant Cardone, and he said that your net worth is your net worth, which is so true. I mean, if you go into your phone and you look at your contacts, you can make money. I mean, I'm not saying just call your family and beg them for money. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm trying to apply is that those people in your contacts, you want to be calling them 100 cold calls a day and saying, look, do you know a friend? I'm starting out as a real estate agent. Or if they already know you well, say, hey, look, I've got this great opportunity. Look, maybe you don't know someone, or maybe, you don't want to sell or you don't want to buy. But if you know someone else, could you help me out? And most of them will say, yeah, sure, because they're family or they're friends and they're going to be genuine and they'll actually give you something. Like, that's what you want. As well as going to any conventions, any webinars, seminars, where are real estate agents going? Where are other people, where the events happening? You want to be very alert of what's going on. And even trying to get higher up, I mean, maybe it's your boss and your boss knows a lot of people and you'd be happy to share the contacts with you. I mean, if you show that you're prepared for it, I mean, it doesn't matter. You need to know people because that's how deals are made. And that's why the biggest way that most people get their leads and their sales is through referrals, because they have either one, are known in their street, or two, they know a lot of people and they refer them back to you. Now, of course, this is my favorite part because this is what I talk about. Now, my goal on this channel is really to help real estate agents become financially free through the power of technology and social media. Now, if I said to you that you could double your sales or get leads for free that are better than anything you've ever found, and this is all you have to do, well, this is the point where you need to listen. If I did have to give any advice, and it's not just because I'm biased, I mean, I might be a little biased, but I just know this works because it's worked for so many people in so many industries, and it's the reason I talked about Tom Panos and Ryan Serhant before, okay? If you spent 30 days posting every single day, even more than that, I want you to post 2 times a day on your social media for 30 days. And I want to tell me, come back in this video 30 days from now if you do exactly what I say, and I want you to tell me the results. And if it's not what you expected, and if you didn't even get one lead, I want you to come back and I'll help you get a lead for free, okay? And I'll help you with your social media for free, because there's no way that even if you looked at my content, other people's content, that you wouldn't at least get one lead, one buyer, one vendor. It's simple as that. Social media is key. If you can market not only your listings, we don't want to market the listings, you want to market yourself, because that's what you're selling. You're not selling the houses, you're selling yourself. And of course, negotiating, okay? All right, negotiating, sales, this is all what it's about. So when you are making a sale, the biggest key that I've learned in my experience, I know you're probably saying, oh, you look like a rookie. Well, I've learned from a lot of great people, and this is what they've said. When you go into a deal, okay, you do not want to focus about the money. If you're desperately hungry for the money, for the sale, you're going to come off in that energy, that feeling of, oh wow, he really wants to make this sale, I don't really want to do this anymore. You know, that's not to say to work and message them and email them and keep them up to date. I mean, you have to do that, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to think of this as, I'm selling this person a house, something they're going to live in for probably the next 10 years, maybe even 20 years. And they're going to make a lot of great memories there with their family and more generations. That's what you're doing. You're giving someone a place to live. And I think that's such a good thing, is that you're giving them either investment to make money, or you even give them a place that they will love and cherish forever. And you want to come off that way. You want to make sure that you are getting your vendors at the best price, and you want to make sure that the buyers know that this is the best deal, which it is. And you got to be that confident in that. And you got to be doing this not for the money, but you got to be doing this because you love it, because you enjoy it, because you love the game. So just stop for a moment and think, what are they benefiting from this sale? Okay, why should they give it to them logically and then emotionally? Okay, logically, you know, this is maybe, you know, the most expensive house in the street. Okay, right? But what are you getting with that? Well, you're the only person in the street that has a pool. This is the only double-story house. Okay, and say this will only keep going up because it's the best. Okay, and give it to them logically. Okay, because there is so much in this house and there's that much value, and you're going to be saying to yourself, this was the house that I knew I wanted to get because I've always wanted a pool, and I know you've always said that, and that's how you got to be. So that's what I would give. Now, time I think is something that real estate agents don't have a lot of. So this might be very opposite of what you may be thinking. I don't think time is your greatest asset. As an entrepreneur, an agent, anything, an agency owner, time is your greatest asset, because if you put in those hours, which I know you are, every single day, and you just commit to learning, you commit to striving in getting better, and you simply commit to that, then you simply will become the best. It's just inevitable to not become the best, because if you are putting in those hours, right? When you put in those hours of door knocking or cold calling, and you think, well, this really won't lead to much, and this isn't much for now, or if you put in those 30 days of posting 2 times a day, like I told you before, you will see a return on your investment, okay? It might not be now, but later in the future, it will progress a lot. And that's when you really will see this linear kind of graph of your income going in like that, because you did put in those hours. You went to bed every night early, you exercised every morning, you didn't drink coffee, you didn't have any caffeine, you didn't smoke, you know, you watching YouTube videos, you're reading books, you're listening to audiobooks. This will all come as a reward later. And this is my final piece of advice. So going on to what I said, you just want to submerge yourself with all the knowledge you can, all the best people. Listen to the Ryan Serhant, the Tom Panos, listen to their podcast. What are they doing? And there's a very good analogy and quote that I've always had in my mind is, what would a millionaire do? Or what would Ryan Serhant do? Or what would Tom Panos do? If you're thinking to yourself in that situation, gee, I don't know what to do. You know, should I watch 5 hours of TV when I get back home? Or should I probably follow up with my work and my leads? Just think, would Ryan Serhant spend 5 hours of his time watching TV, mindlessly scrolling through TikTok or his phone? Or would you be producing even more content, following up with everyone that you talk to in that day? That's what I would think. That is the best piece of advice. And I know for a fact, if you think like that, because mindset is all that matters at the end of the day, then I can guarantee that you will become that elite agent very, very fast and become that $1 million agent like these people are. What would a $1 million agent do right now? What would they be doing? Would they be creating content? Would they be cold calling? Would they be cold emailing? Would they be door knocking? Would they be negotiating? That's what I want to leave you with. So to wrap things up, let's go back. Let's wrap things up because I know it's been quite a long video. Okay, embrace competition because they're going to make you better. That's number one. All right. You also want to adapt to your environment. Always be up to date with your skills with technology. Facebook, AI is coming, so get ready for that. Always sharpen your sword and know what's going on. Keep up to date with the news in your area and your council. Always make sure that you are talking with people. Your contacts are your contracts. I want you to post 30 days, 2 posts every single day, and I want you to comment back the results after that. I want you to not think about the money for a second and think about how it's actually going to change someone's life. Time is obviously your greatest asset. Trust me, the time you put in now, you'll reap the rewards later. And of course, you have to think like a top producer. Tell me, what would the best real estate agent do? Now, I know it's been a long video, and skip back to any time you like to get really into depth of what I said and taking my notes. Look, I do have a link in the description if you do want help with this, and I do this every day to help real estate agents. So if you would like that, it's in there. I don't care if you click on it. It really doesn't faze me. I love making these YouTube videos and always helping out and making sure that I can add some value to people's days. So you can do that. If not, look, if you enjoyed this, subscribe, because that allows me to make all these videos and make sure that I'm putting my time and energy in somewhere where I know will definitely help and benefit you guys. So enjoy the rest of your day. Keep going, keep hustling, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.